Great, another rant video. That's what you're probably thinking right now. And can you blame me? I had this idea for nearly 2 days. And yeah, let's just get this over with. So if anyone doesn't know, I freaking love Pokemon. It's my second favorite franchise of all time, and the anime was something I grew up with. But before Bluey became my absolute favorite thing of all time in general, well, this is what my number one would be for many, many years. Pokemon was something I've had since I was 5 or 6. It was Christmas of either 2005 or 6, I really don't remember. And I got the first anime DVD that had the very first 3 episodes of the Kanto season, and that's a really great way to start off the franchise. Kind of in order, I guess. Even though my first game was actually Pokemon Soul Silver, and why do I bring all of this up? Well, this takes place in Sinnoh, and I was a kid at that time. I really liked Sinnoh and its Pokemon roster. I mean, hey, this was the region that gave us Lucario after all, as well as this generation giving us Dawn, Barry, Cynthia, etc. But what about the Sinnoh seasons of the anime? I did see a fair amount of it, and I kind of loved it almost as much as Hoenn, because, that's what I was binge watching so much of at the time. And everything about it was great. But there was one problem. You obviously read the title of this video and the thumbnail. I really don't like Paul. Now, hear me out for a second. I have ranted about Bakugo, twice on this channel, but for a fair amount of time I liked him. This, though, oh boy. Do you ever have that one fictional character that when you were younger, you didn't like no matter how iconic this guy was and, well, how much of a dick he or she is? Yeah, that's me with Paul. I'm honestly surprised he's an iconic character. Can I ask why? And don't get me wrong, there are a fair amount of Pokemon villains I actually really like. Here are 3 examples: Giovanni, Luzamin, and Penny. Oh yeah, I really like Professor Sada and Turo. That actually gave us a really interesting plot for Paldea. But for Sinnoh, though, yeah, it took me a really long time, but I finally liked Cyrus. But for Paul, no, I never once liked him. The literally only positive I could think of is that at least the battles he's in, I don't really have a problem with. Well, for the Pokemon, mind you. In fact, he actually has quite a good Pokemon roster. There was Elekid that eventually evolved into Electivire that gave us that iconic Infernape battle. I actually literally rewatched it before making this recording, and yeah, it's pretty good. Etc. I could go on for the battles. Now, as much as I really like the battles, yeah, I really don't like Paul. Before I start ranting about this guy for a moment, if you do for some reason like him, then honestly, I'm surprised. But good for you, really. That's actually a good thing. I know there are characters that can be absolute pricks in fiction that actually are pretty beloved, like Bakugo, like I mentioned. And that's fine, honestly. But for me, though, Paul is such a fucking asshole. I hate how cruel he is, both in battles and outside of battles. Why did I say in battles, you may be asking? Remember that one time he actually had his Elekid go up against Onix? At one point, he said, "Stay strong or else." That's a bit concerning, don't you think? Yeah, I think this guy might be somewhat of an abuser. He feels almost nothing when he wins, too. Honestly, I think he's verbally abusive, calling Ash nothing but pathetic, and showing him almost no respect for when Ash actually finally gets an upper hand or actually wins. Ooh, here's a really good example. That double battle where Ash and Paul had to team up with Chimchar and Turtwig. And Paul made the stupid fucking choice to have his Chimchar use Flame Wheel on Zangoose while he's constantly trying to hit Turtwig, causing Turtwig to get pretty badly damaged, and Paul doesn't even give a shit. Oh yeah, let's talk about Chimchar, by the way. I'm happy that he's an Ash's care, like how he took in Charmander back in the series and in the I Choose You movie. Treating Chimchar much better, and actually helping him evolve the entire way. Now, I'm honestly fucking surprised that Paul came back in whatever season it was in Galar. I saw the clip of his Metagross up against Ash's Gengar yesterday, and yeah, he's still much a dick. Fans of him are probably gonna be happy that he came back, but me, no, I wasn't happy in the slightest. I didn't want him to come back. If Paul, for some reason, appears in any season where it has Liko and Roy, then I'm gonna be speechless, really. Because honestly, I haven't seen that much of the seasons in Paldea, but I like Liko and Roy. They're doing a pretty good job of being main characters since Ash is no longer in it. You know, maybe I love Hoenn a little bit more because we didn't have a prick like Paul. Okay, anyway, seriously, to wrap this video up, I never once liked Paul, and I really, really hate him. I never ever want to remember this character for as long as I live, and if for some reason I do because of the battles that I actually see or something like that, then I hope I forget about it. Again, if you like Paul, that's fine. I'm sure you have no problem with him. But for me, though, I have a huge fucking problem with him. But I think I'm done talking now. I just really wanted to mention him for a couple minutes, and yeah, another one of these rant videos. But I just keep coming up with these interesting video ideas, and that's why you see some odd videos like my top 10 best and worst MMORPG remakes, videos like this, and etc. By the way, at some point about that, by the way, I do plan on making a top 10 best Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends 2008 hijack video, so keep an eye out for that. Not right now, but at some point. But anyway, yeah, I'm pretty much done. I'll see y'all later with whatever you do next time, and that's all for now.